Hi friends, today I'm going to show you 4 exercises that I think are most important for anyone that wants to protect their bone density, their bone health, who has osteoporosis or osteopenia. I'm going to show you all 4 and teach you modifications to them if you need to. And these are exercises that I think everyone should be doing to help protect their bones. Let's get started. Hey, I'm Dr. Lisa. I'm a physical therapist and a specialist in osteoporosis and bone health exercise, and I am the founder of Brick House Bones. So let's dive into our 4 exercises today. We will start in sitting, but not slouched sitting. We don't want to be leaning against the back of the chair. We're going to tilt our pelvis forward. We're going to lift our heart, and we're going to tuck our chin so our head is back on top of our shoulders. So this tall perched posture, and then we'll start with a double arm reach. So reaching both arms forward until they're up overhead, reaching for the ceiling, getting that length as we lift our hearts and create this improvement in our posture by stretching with our arms. Relax back down. We'll start again. Make sure our posture is where we want it to be. Tuck that chin, reach up overhead. Wonderful. So this double arm reach would be a wonderful exercise that people can do nearly every day. Now, if you have shoulder pain when you do that, here's an alternate. Hands on the ears, lift with the elbows and the chest. So we're not cranking on the neck, we're lifting from the center of our heart and from our elbows, reaching up. So here's what that looks like from the side. Watch my posture. So sitting up tall here, chin tuck. We get all this extension through our back posture muscles. And release. We go here, elbows up, improving that extension through the middle of our backs. And this helps improve our posture. And better posture helps reduce our risk for fractures. So give that shoulder reach exercise a try. That is exercise number 1. Now we're moving on to exercise number 2, and that is a sit to stand or a squat. So this is a strength exercise that's very functional for the lower body, hips, and back. So we can start from a standing position. We reach those hips. We keep that chin tucked. We can have hands on our hips or hands out front. Reach those hips back and down and stand. Sit to stand. Now for starting, you can have a chair as a place to land. As you get better, you can do what we call an air squat. As you get better and you know you need more challenge for strengthening, we add dumbbells and kettlebells. But this basic sit to stand is one of the most important functional exercises when it comes to the strength we need to support our bodies and our bones. So that is a foundational exercise. As is the next one. Let me backtrack 1 second. If you have a knee or a hip that isn't like that particular move, you have 2 options. One is to put a pillow or a bolster in the chair. Make the chair taller so that you don't have to sink down as low, and maybe it feels a little better from a higher surface. The other option, if your sore leg is your left leg, slide that one slightly forward, and you can still do it using the leg that's not injured or hurt. So you can modify the exercise to still get the strength you need for the function of getting up and out of a chair. Okay, exercise number 3 is a hip hinge. Now we want to hinge at our hip, like so, noting that the spine can tilt forward but still be straight because we're bending through our hip joint or hinging through our hip joint. This is key in protecting our back and our spine when we're bending and lifting if we have low bone density. So the way that I teach this and the way that we practice it, at home you can use a broomstick. Get it against your hips, against your middle back, and if possible, against your head. And then you reach your hips back, allowing your chest to come forward. Now, if you come away from the stick, you're doing it incorrectly. So your middle back and your hips should stay in contact with the stick while you hinge at the hips. So learning how to do a correct hip hinge is a foundation for being able to learn the correct exercises to strengthen your back and your hips. So this is a hip hinge technique, and this is what we teach for correct lifting technique if you have low bone density. So that's, instead of rounding the spine, that's hinging at the hips. Spine tilts forward but remains straight. If you can do it with the stick, practice it by just sliding your hands down your knees. Notice my hips go back instead of down like they did when we did the sit to stand. So hips go back, shoulders come forward, and that's a proper hip hinge technique that helps protect the back. Okay, last thing as we talk about 4 of the most important exercises for protecting bone density and preventing fractures, and that is one-legged balance. So if you need, you can use a chair for support. We're going to be up nice and tall, keep our chin tucked, become aware of our core, and shift our weight to the leg we're going to stand on. So you can't just pick up your foot and expect to balance. You have to shift your weight to that side, shift your weight, use support if you need to, lift the other leg, and practice standing on one leg for 30 seconds to a minute. Okay, you should be able to be steady for a long time just standing still. Once you're done with that leg, shake it out, shift your weight over to the other side, pick up the other foot, and hold there. 30 to 60 seconds of single leg balance. If that is not possible, if you can't do that, start with support. 2 fingers on a counter or a chair. Same process. Shift your weight, pick up one foot, pick up one finger. You can just feather that other finger up and down as needed to maintain the foot in the air and the single leg balance. So you just use intermittent support as much as you need using the counter or a back of a chair. Hey, if this was helpful for you, please hit the like button and please share it with your friends and other groups so that they can have this important information too. I've developed an entire beginner's program. So if you're new and you're beginning exercise for your bone health, I have my free Foundations program here on YouTube that you just press play and follow along for 6 videos to get you started with the right types of exercise. I also have my workshop and webinar, Journey to Fracture Proof, that goes over the principles and foundations, basically the framework of what it is to do proper bone health exercises in the Brick House Bones method. Check that out. We'll include it in the links below. I thank you, I appreciate you, and we'll see you next time.